Have you ever driven past a vacant, boarded up house in Salt Lake City and wonder why nobody's torn it down yet? The reason could tie back to the infamous sugar hole that sat empty in Sugar House for years. You may remember.
But now a frustrated Utah developer says the city's ordinance is outdated and only enables squatters. Fox 13 News investigative reporter Adam HERBETS took a look at the case and the response from the city.
Well, the city has been debating what to do about this issue for more than a decade. Over the past 12 years, the laws have been updated multiple times, and they admit there's still more work to do.
What's all the broken glass? You know, where's this all coming from?
The house and property are trashed, covered in plywood, graffiti, and yellow tape.
This is new. I don't even know where this came from. It's been a hassle.
But that's not what surprised the property owner when he showed up this morning.
Pieces of the frame are still melted to it. The boards told the homeless people this is an empty house and it's been burned out in the meantime.
Now they want to know, is there still someone squatting inside?
Wow. I'm guessing the fire started downstairs.
This time, everyone is gone.
Oh my goodness.
But they have stumbled into people sleeping here before.
That's where they got in. Are the stairs intact? I mean, think of the danger that this poses. The fire issues, the drug use, all these sorts of things.
For months, Irvine Construction has wanted to demolish these 3 homes on Washington Street as they prepare to build a new apartment complex. Instead, they've spent their money on boards, not bulldozers.
We couldn't demolish these houses without having first get a building permit to build the replacement property.
The policy he's referring to dates back to the sugar hole that sat empty for years in Sugar House starting in 2008. A developer demolished what was there and stopped building during the recession, leaving a different type of eyesore.
It seems silly to make an entire, a policy for the whole city over one situation.
Last week at 2 a.m. I got called out by the fire department. There was 6 or 7 people in the basement of that house. Everybody was able to get out.
Orion Goff is Salt Lake City's Director of Building Services. He says last January, the City Council updated its ordinance since Sugar Hole to make it easier for developers to demolish, so long as they're replacing homes on a one-to-one basis.
It's not a good situation to have these vacant nuisance homes.
In this case, Irvine Construction says it was frustrated with a cumbersome approval process that enabled squatters in the meantime.
And I don't think it was intentional, but we need to change this rule and we need to get this fixed. It's just backwards.
They were ultimately cleared to begin demolishing since they're replacing 3 houses with 200 apartment units. But they argue these homes are not inhabitable, that even a vacant lot would be better than this.
You're making a really good point, but the ordinance does not take that into consideration. The City Council is very interested in making this right. They're very focused on affordable housing.
The city says in this case the system worked, but there is still room for improvement, making sure firefighters, neighbors, and the homeless are all protected.
It needs more study, and it needs to be done in its own process.
We need to figure out a way to streamline this process and work with developers to try to rebuild and revitalize the city.
The city says it's now working with a consultant to draft a new housing mitigation loss ordinance. They anticipate they'll have a good idea of what that will look like in the next few months. Reporting in studio, Adam HERBETS, Fox 13 News, Utah.